training volume for naturals and why it's so important. So again, this is for people who are just trying to get that athletic build, a nice fit body, not bodybuilders, but this is my volume recommendations and why to get that body as fast as possible and to fit it into your lifestyle. So for a long time, I experimented with high volumes. And honestly, it never really got me much. Yeah, I got a little bit stronger. I didn't really see much change though in my body composition. And it took me a long time to figure out that lower volumes actually work a lot better. And it makes sense if you think about it because everyone's promoting this high volume, but the whole key is progressive overload. And it makes more sense to have more time to recover, not destroying your body and then getting right back at it the next day, which most programs will lead you to believe. It makes more sense that you need that time to recover because that's when you rebuild. That's when you get stronger. That's when your muscles repair. So pretty much I started experimenting with lower volumes. I dropped my volume to 12 sets per muscle group per week, and I saw way more strength gains, just better body composition. Everything was just piecing together a lot better. So then I took it even a step further and I brought it down to 8 sets per muscle group per week. That is my sweet spot, and that is where my strength went through the roof. My body composition changed. I got more results than I ever got in that small time period than the entire time I was working out. Before that, dropping to that volume really helped me out a lot. And also, the clients that I train, I always keep them between 6 to 12 sets per muscle group per week. And every client that I've ever had always made great strength gains, always continued to see progress as long as they stuck with the program. I've never had a problem with this approach for myself or anybody that I'm training. So low volume approaches work very well. I've even taken this a step further to do 6 sets per muscle group per week. I believe that the 8 sets for me was a lot better than the 6 sets, but the 6 sets, my lifts were still going up. I was still making strength gains. So this all comes down to say that this lower volume approach, like it's just so much more easy. Because think about it, if you can work with 6 sets per muscle group per week, all the way up to 12 sets, and throughout this whole set range, you're making progress regardless of where you land, versus doing this extremely high volume where the only thing you're really doing is going in there and doing more sets, but the weight is never going up. Nothing is ever increasing. The only thing increasing is your time working out and the sets and the fatigue. And it's just, to me, it's not worth it. I know high volume works a lot, or works very well for a lot of people, but from my experience, low volume, and I'm somebody that never has taken anything. I do everything completely natural, and I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. I just wanted a nice body, and I wanted to feel good. I wanted to feel recovered. I wanted to enjoy going into my workouts. This is a lifestyle for me, so I love to do this. I want to make it as enjoyable as possible. And I've noticed with the low volume approach, it's just made things so much more enjoyable. I feel like I'm actually working towards something. My goals are getting crushed week by week, and same thing for my clients. So this is something I definitely recommend if you are just experiment with it, because here's one of the biggest fear factors as well with people. They think, oh no, but if I drop my volume, I'm going to lose everything I got. Even if you did make great results with high volume, if you drop your volume down, even all the way down to 6 sets per muscle group per week, the worst that's going to happen is you're going to maintain the muscle you already have. But I guarantee you're also going to build muscle, build strength, because it takes so much less volume than you think just to maintain the muscle that you have. So to have that mindset, to think, if I'm doing 25 sets per muscle group per week, and if you're doing 25 sets per muscle group per week, that's crazy. But I'm going to drop to 6. I'm going to lose all my gains. That is not the way it works. That is not the way it works at all. If anything, you're going to make more strength gains. You're going to, at the very minimum, maintain what you have, which I doubt that you're going to get more than that. I wouldn't suggest dropping to 6, but if you drop between the 8 to 12, set limit, you will definitely make gains from it. Why not just try it? Think about it. If you try it and you maintain, you're most likely maintaining right now, because if you're doing that many sets, you're probably stuck at whatever weight you're lifting right now, and it's not really going up much. So you might as well try the 8 to 12 set approach, see what happens, give it like 90 days, and watch your strength increase like crazy. And remember, I'm speaking to those that just want to build an athletic body, a nice body, have it fit their daily lifestyle, enjoy their workouts, not trying to be a bodybuilder. They just want to be able to take their shirt off and feel confident. This is a very, very good approach. This is going to make sure that you can fit this into your lifestyle. And remember, with 8 to 12 sets per muscle group per week, or let's even say 6 to 12, because they all work. They honestly all work. You can fit that into 3 days a week. All you have to do is train 3 days a week. You could do a full body split. You could do upper lower split. I'll talk more about splits in another video, but this is a sustainable approach that's going to help you get the results that you want, crush strength goals in between. This whole process is so smooth. That's why I try to preach it so much, because high volume is not smooth. Like, you're literally working towards a goal, just stacking sets on sets on sets, not seeing your strength increase. Like, you have no goals you can crush in between, so therefore you're just like waiting for this magic time to appear where your body's just going to change and you're going to be super strong, which may never happen, because most people have average genetics and most people are just looking for that nice, fit body, and you don't need to be doing all that. Just stick with 8 to 12 sets per muscle group per week. And if things are really, you don't have that much time, you still want to build that body, 6 sets is plenty. You're still going to build a nice body with that. You're still going to get super strong. I've experimented with all of them. They all work. Just stick with it. Don't let any other thing derail it. Don't go on YouTube and all these other platforms and look up the high volume, because then you're going to switch your mind back to high volume. Give it 90 days. Try it for 90 days. See what I'm talking about. Within 2 weeks, you're going to see your strength gains go way higher up anyways. So it's going to make you want to stick to it anyways. But give this low volume approach a try, and I guarantee you're going to see a huge difference.